how big is that July 1st NMC date as far as making a decision on his future?
Harm, I think it's critically important. I don't think you can allow Pettersson to have any leverage or say in the process. The last thing you want is to be held hostage with a guy that you don't want there, and he's not productive, and he has a massive contract. What if he's so like here's another example, another recent real world example. Seth Jones gave the Chicago Blackhawks 2 teams to which he would accept a trade. Dallas and Florida. The Stars have so many young players to pay, starting with Wyatt Johnson, that they said, we're not interested. We just can't even get involved in the Seth Jones conversation, even at $2.5 million retained. Suddenly, the Hawks are left with one team to deal with. And luckily for them, it was kept under wraps that the Florida Panthers were the only team left that he was willing to accept a deal to. Because if Florida finds that information out, they can leverage the hell out of the Hawks and the return. And instead, Chicago got a deal that worked for them, and they were able to pull the trigger. The last thing you want is Pettersson telling your team, I'm only going to accept a trade to the LA Kings. Pick a team in division, pick a team anywhere. He can do and say whatever he wants. You can't let it get to that point. And when you talk about, hey, well, maybe he'll rebound. If you're going to have a number 1 center, this is your best chance. I get the thought process and where you're coming from, but I'm going to side with, at that point, 17 months of evidence or 16 months of evidence that not only is Pettersson broken, but is especially broken in Vancouver, that it's not, all the pieces aren't going to be put back together. Is there a chance that he snaps out of it? I think if we were going to see that, we would have started to see that at 4 Nations. That would have been the catalyst. If not the Miller trade, then it would have been, hey, this guy's around his countrymen, speaking his own language, gets a shot in the arm of confidence, playing with talented players that he knows and likes. All that did for me for 4 Nations was remove every excuse possible. And then all of a sudden we're back to the knee and the tendonitis and whatever else. And it's just like, you're making this much money. You have to produce. You have to be a driver. And Canucks fans haven't wanted to hear that. And from me, they think that I'm a Pettersson hater or that I'm negative or whatever it might be. I'm just telling you from an asset management standpoint, how everyone else around the league looks at it. And this quote that I've used a couple times from an NHL manager that says, there's not one team in the league that could acquire Elias Pettersson right now and feel 100% good about it, rings true. But at least right now, there's some mystique. There's we think we could be the team that unlocks that power once again, the 40-goal, 100-point dynamic player that we once saw. The longer it goes on, the more we see, the less likely someone is going to be buying on that. And not only that, I think we're already at the point now where his value has plummeted so much that I don't know that there is a return for him.